Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Pollux the Wise, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about what to spend your star upgrades on in each edition of the franchise Kingdom Rush. So without further ado, let's get frogging started. One of the first questions I typically get asked by beginners to the franchise is what to spend their stars on in the upgrade tech tree. Now, in order to answer this appropriately, we need to consider what edition of Kingdom Rush we're playing and understand how each tech tree works. The first 3 games of the franchise use a standardized format, with all 4 tower types listed in order from left to right as follows: archers, barracks, mages, and artillery. The 5th column is reserved for the first emergency spell in your arsenal, which is known as Rain of Fire in the first 2 editions, and Lightning in the 3rd edition. The 6th and final column is reserved for your secondary emergency spell, Reinforcements. The most recent edition, however, known as Kingdom Rush Vengeance, is the sole exception to this format, with a tech tree made up of soul upgrades instead of stars that has multiple branches per upgrade path on every category. It is also the only edition to have a total of 4 columns of upgrades instead of 6. The first one pertains to all 4 tower types being condensed into a single upgrade category, which has some advantages and disadvantages. The second column pertains to your heroes. The 3rd and 4th columns completely break the traditional upgrade format by swapping where the reinforcements and the first spell are located. Soul Impact also operates completely differently for both Rain of Fire in the first 2 games, and the Lightning spell from Kingdom Rush Origins, by having the potential ability to reduce the cooldown of the spell based on how many enemies get killed by the main strikes of the Soul Impact itself. It's important to note in the first 3 editions of the franchise that the number of lives you complete each level with will affect how many stars you earn at the end of that level to spend on upgrades, and whether or not you complete the Heroic and Iron challenges. Completing both of these challenges gives you an additional 2 stars per level, but they can only be unlocked by beating each stage with 3 stars, or at least 18 lives. However, Kingdom Rush Vengeance simply gives you all the available soul points per level, regardless of how well you perform, so long as you manage to beat the level. Now, going back to the first 3 editions of the franchise, 9 times out of 10, you'll want to invest your stars into upgrading your first emergency spell as much as possible. Any remaining stars should be spent on your reinforcements in the rightmost column. If you're someone who happens to have both of these emergency spells maxed out, however, the next thing to do is assess which tower types you use most often in your gameplay and spend your stars on leveling those tower types up accordingly. Generally speaking, each edition of the franchise has slightly different upgrades at the higher levels. A lot of the lower level upgrades will give towers more damage or range. In Kingdom Rush Vengeance, however, the formula on what to upgrade changes completely, and this is because of the fact that many of the upgrades in Vengeance rely on RNG or random chance to occur, making it a real headache to decide if it's worth spending your precious soul points on upgrading or not. Let's take for example the Pit Lord upgrade. Not only does it have the highest cost in the entirety of the tech tree at 6 points, but the Pit Lord itself only has a 30% chance of spawning. Now, the Pit Lord is admittedly a very powerful secondary reinforcement unit, boasting high damage and health, but in practice, he's just not summoned often enough to make it worth upgrading him a viable option. My recommendation would be to spend your soul points on upgrades that are guaranteed rather than left to chance. A few good examples of this would be Special Training, which allows your heroes to gain experience faster so that you can unlock their full set of abilities. Let's say, for example, though, that you're somebody who already has their hero of choice maxed out. My second recommendation would be the Guild of Merchants, which allows you to reduce the price of tower special abilities at level 4. Another great option would be the Helion Tridents for your reinforcements. Reaching the 2nd level of this upgrade path allows them to throw Flaming Tridents that deal additional tick damage when setting enemies on fire, making them an excellent source of near-constant support damage. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know down in the comments section below if you guys have any other thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns. This is Pollux the Wise. Peace out.